Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport again. We've got Champions League football tonight, 2 watch-alongs. I'm joined by fellow friend Joe Stanley, Liverpool fan as we all know by this point, or unless you're new. Joe's a Liverpool fan, just to warn you. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm not doing too bad. How about yourself?
I'm alright, I can't complain, you know. Got 2 football matches on. Except for, we're getting near the end of the season, if you know what I mean. When you watch a certain amount of football, it starts becoming tiresome to watch, tiresome for the players as well. So we'll just hope that these are exciting matches. I don't doubt that. Dortmund, City, Liverpool, Real Madrid. We can get excited about that, can't we? What do you think of Liverpool's chances given their lineup?
I think they've got a good chance. Obviously, Real Madrid are never an easy side, no matter how poor they could be playing. They're always a tough side, the European royalty. Won it for obviously the most with 13 European Cups, and they've got some quality players in the squad. But this evening, I feel quite confident because you're looking at the centre-back issues that they've got. They're missing Ramos, and then Varane went out early on today. So the news that he's out with COVID, so he'll miss the second leg as well. So I think looking at their pairing of Nacho and Militao, I wouldn't be that confident as a Madrid fan. And with our attacking front three of Salah, Jota, Mane at the weekend, when Jota come on in the second half, they cause Arsenal lots of problems, and I can see them causing Madrid a lot of problems tonight.
So yeah, I think that come to what you said. Yeah, I think that Liverpool do have a good chance, and I think it also helps, as you mentioned. I think the injuries that Real Madrid had. I mean, even just Hazard, even if he's not even been in the squad so often, he's still a big miss. Coming on to the other game, because I don't know whether you're watching it, I'm watching it at least. Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund. Have you seen the lineups?
I haven't seen the lineups, no, for that one. I've been keeping my eyes just on the Liverpool at the moment, Hannah.
Who do you think is the favourite for the City Dortmund one, knowing that City are playing at home against Erling Haaland?
City will probably be slim favourites because obviously Dortmund haven't been the best defensively, have they? I've watched a few of their games for watch-alongs, and they don't convince me defensively this season. I'm sure you can agree on that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, Haaland's clinical going forward, but he's just one player, and City have got a group of players, obviously.
But Messi's just one player, and he's made the difference before for Barcelona. Haaland, I think, is starting to get into those echelons of world class. But despite that, they haven't got Jadon Sancho, and I was watching them this weekend and thought, if Sancho were there to provide him with those balls, it might have been a different match. So Royce is still starting, which I'm a bit disappointed about, but accompanying them on the wing is a young player called Knauf. So he's only played a handful of minutes, 2 games to be precise for Dortmund, and none of those were obviously 90 minutes. Big game to start in the Champions League like that against Manchester City, who are the favourites. So I look forward to seeing how that pans out for them. We know that young players at Dortmund usually can step up to the occasion. I'm always worried about Hummels and Royce and Chan and Hitz and Berkey, the more senior players than the younger players for Dortmund. But yeah, just looking forward to seeing how this pans out. Who do you think are favourites for this Champions League then? Besides what we're talking about tonight, little predictions, who do you think are favourites for the Champions League?
The whole competition as a whole, I think Bayern Munich is still the favourites, to be honest.
Bayern Munich, I'd have to put them as partial side favourites as well, but you can't rule out City. I think City are so dominant in the way they play, and I'd love to see how their tactics, like with Cancelo coming out into midfield, how that'll fare with Bayern, knowing that Bayern have probably a weak squad depth in midfield. Will they get a bit overrun? I'd love to see Bayern Munich play against City at least. That's basically what I'm getting at this. But I said this to you lot in our group chats and in our calls that we've had between us just socially. I've put money on Chelsea to win, and it doesn't bode well. It just got beat 5-2 by West Brom, but I think they can defend really well if it isn't Zuma and Christensen as a partnership, because I think when those two have been playing together at Chelsea, they've lost 5 out of the 6 this season that they've played together. So that for me says a lot. When they've got a defender in there who is a leader, I think Chelsea are a really good side. Boring as hell, but I think they can just about defend well enough to catch teams out. We've got Agent Tintin saying good afternoon. Afternoon. Where are you from, Tintin? Agent Tintin? Usually Tintin's a French or Belgian, so it's not really the afternoon there. I'm just messing about with the name. How are you today? Well, we're both well, as we mentioned with Joe Stanley. I am well as well. Too many wells in that sentence. Liverpool were using constant press, and Real Madrid are going to try and keep possession. Most possibly. I'm more intrigued to see how that midfield works against the likes of Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro, because that's the backbone of Real Madrid this season. They've had injuries in their defence, with Ramos being injured multiple times this season, Varane being out as well. But those three have been a constant, and it's worked so well for them. I'm wondering how Liverpool breaks that down, especially with the likes of Keita in there. And we're off in both games, which bodes well. That way they don't have to have two timers. I'm getting lazy, Joe. Just one timer for me.
To be fair, there's quite a lot of components to think about, isn't there, when you're running the stream? So
it's unreal, and that's why I didn't even do the lineups, because it become congested on the screen. So we're just with the bare scores at the moment under the timer, or the communal timer. Do you worry? I'm just seeing Alisson on the ball. Do you worry about Alisson's form this season? Is that something of concern to you?
There's been a little bit of a dip, hasn't there, in his performances, but it's not something that worries me in the sense of, I know we were talking about Karius before coming on and stuff. It doesn't worry me in the sense of him. You know, when he had the dip in form, you just had to panic. But with Alisson now, there was a little bit of a worry as Benzema hits a shot, but it was a team effort into Alisson's gloves. But no, he's not worried me too much. He had that big blip against City, which was probably the worst game he's had for the club. But other than that, he doesn't concern me, Alisson. Except for what does concern me is his moustache. It's just very weird.
I'm liking it. Mainly because I can't grow one, but I'm liking it. I think it kind of suits him. He looks like he could be easily a gangster from the 50s.
Seen a lot of posts on social media comparing him to Freddie Mercury.
I guess you can, yeah. Why not? Oh. Just seen Jota put out of play really cheaply there. And there's one thing that I like about Jota is he fits into this Liverpool ideology so much, which is get the ball, go forward. There's no thinking about it. It's just turn around and go forward. And maybe that's what Mane and Salah have lacked this season. A bit of instinct more than anything else. Just to go for goal rather than trying to overthink it, playing outside the box, passing it, keeping possession. They used to be so good at just penetrating defences instantly and just keep going, keep digging at it. And this season it hasn't been the same, whereas Jota has re-implemented that sort of ideology and just gone for it. And early on, it looks like Ederson was struggling there. I can't see against which player it was. Was that Chan? Don't know, he just came out to punch the ball near the edge of the box and it looked like he didn't really get there, but nothing been called yet.
It sounds daft just in the early stages. I wonder if the pitch at the Di Stefano Arena is slightly more narrow than the Bernabeu pitch, because there's quite a few times where Liverpool played it down the flank and then the ball's gone out. You know, the players have run out of play with the ball, or the ball's trickled out of play. And it's just making me wonder, because Robertson was just having a run then, and he just seemed to get guided out of play all too easily. So
it's happened a couple of times in this game already. You think it's narrow, this pitch?
It's just making me wonder. Either that, or it might just be because the stands aren't as big, whether it just gives the look from the TV cameras that it's very narrow.
There's a way of finding this out, but it is something that makes a big difference. I mean, they always used to say with Wembley being a lot larger, you know, when Stoke got to the FA Cup final, semi-final, that Rory Delap wouldn't manage to throw it that far, which did, in effect, become a problem. Just saw Mahrez just tried not kicking the ball, controlling the ball, and it's just gone right through his legs. That's always something Mahrez does. It just lacks concentration. Going back to pitch size, I've mentioned this before and about how different teams play. Would it affect them if the pitch is larger? And I think it was to you I said, I'm not sure. I think if the pitch was stretched out really large to a square shape, I think the likes of Everton would win a lot more matches, and the likes of Southampton would lose a lot more matches, just the way that you've got like James Rodriguez, who likes to spread it across the pitch so much more than dimensions permit him to do so, and Southampton play such a tight game that I think they get exploited more on a wider pitch, so it does make a difference. And I remember my football coach, when I was younger, he always used to tell us the length and the width of the pitch every time before a match. Like, okay, this pitch is 91.6 meters long. Like, okay, great. That mean I can't hoop it as long? Agent Tintin, I'm from Kent, so not quite Belgium. Sorry, no need to be sorry. I'm just you can be from wherever you want. We're not judging. Cassio Moses. Hello, Cassio, a regular. Does my team, Dortmund, have a chance against City? What can we do to stop them? I see City as second favourite to win the Champions League. I'll agree. City should be second favourites. But how to stop City? Maybe just... It seems so cliche and easy to say, but cutting out the errors, I think Dortmund go a long way. I think it's that simple. I think their system actually suits them very well, but it's just that they make so many silly errors and that costs them so many matches. And that's where Hummels has to step up. I'm disappointed that Zagadou's not playing tonight. He's still injured. I'm not sure how long he's injured for, but I prefer him much to Akanji. And also the fact that Sancho isn't there is a big miss. They would have made a big story about how Sancho goes up against his old club. Yep. So that's my little rant. Well, not rant. Almost monologue for the last 2 or 3 minutes. And Zinchenko looked like he might just get it in, but Bellingham's intercepted the ball on the edge of the box. And I know when I was watching Dortmund this weekend, he took off Bellingham Turcic at one point in the game that I thought was a bit odd. Okay, Bellingham didn't have a great second half, but I thought he was the only Dortmund player who looked like he could bring something from midfield, and then I realised, well, they're playing City midweek, so he's surely going to start for that game, and lo and behold, Bellingham is starting in this game right now, right alongside Chan and Dahoud in that midfield. When Royce has got the ball in dangerous position, can he get it to Haaland? He can. Now Bellingham's in the box. Tries drilling past Walker, and he forces a good save from Ederson. That was a good shot from Bellingham. And Dortmund's still in a dangerous position here. Oh, and it's just gone over from Chan.
I was reading not that long ago about Dahoud that he might be on his in the last chance saloon at Dortmund.
I've said this for a long time. I'm not sure what he's there for. There are much more better options in midfield, and he's still relatively young, so they can get a decent fee. I'm still disappointed to this day that Dortmund sold Weigl not that long ago. But Dahoud, I always thought he's got to be one of the first names out the door because Dortmund need the funds. He's not too old, so they can get money for him, and they don't really need him. I think everyone knows Bellingham is ahead of him in the pecking order, so Bellingham 17, Dahoud 25. It's an easy choice to make. Plus, they need
Weigl went to Benfica.
Weigl went to Benfica, yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't know worries. Yeah, exactly as I mentioned, just 8 years difference, and I think one of them is clearly better, and they need funds, Dortmund. There's no secret there. And Turcic, to his credit, is starting to do a better job now at Dortmund than the man who was supposed to be replacing him, Marco Rose, who is in a bit of a free fall situation at Mönchengladbach. Granted, they did win the other day just about against Freiburg, but they're still only 9th, which is just about top half in Germany.
A few weeks back when I saw the table, they were sat in 4th, so they've obviously really gone off the pace, really.
So they won the last 2 games against Freiburg and and Schalke, but then the last time they'd won was beginning of February. Before that, against Stuttgart, just about 2-1. Oh no, that's just in all competitions. That was in the cup. So last time they won the league before that was mid-January against Dortmund. The tides have turned a lot since then, and it looks like that Dortmund could be comfortable in this match because City aren't playing exactly with a striker or a recognised striker. It's just Gundogan, De Bruyne, Silva roaming around in those positions ahead of the striker. If you don't put pressure onto Akanji or Hummels to make those mistakes, then I don't think you're going to create chances as easily as other teams would against Dortmund. Oh, and Salah looks for break here. Oh wait, no. I'm a bit behind you in all fairness, I think.
I find this Haaland to City narrative a bit boring now, because Dortmund have already said that they're not looking to sell this summer. Even if they got offered like 150, they said they'd rather have another season with him. And then,
they'll take it. I think they'll take 75 million. I think they might push in negotiations, but in the end they will take some figure of, say, 75 million, because if not, they'll just lose him next season, and next season he'll be what, 21, 22? At the end of the season, that is. So yeah, I still think they're gonna accept 75 million, because someone will use the release clause. And if they don't get Champions League football, which looks increasingly likely, so there's 7 games left in the season and they're 7 points off 4th place. They lost that game to Frankfurt last weekend, which was a game they really shouldn't have lost because Frankfurt are the team in 4th. So a 7-point gap is a big one to make up, especially given their games, because they've got to play Leipzig, they've got to play Wolfsburg, they've got Leverkusen coming up as well, and Union Berlin, who are also in that hunt for 4th place, ambitiously, let it be said. So Dortmund don't have a friendly amount of fixtures coming up. So they can conceivably miss out on 4th spot in Champions League football. Now, if they beat City in the Champions League, they could back themselves to win the whole tournament. Yet again, it's still unlikely. Ooh, and Foden just had a shot that's gone over the bar. Just near the edge of the penalty box, well, inside the penalty box, and from the corner, it was bouncing up and he's just hit it over the bar with his right foot. But Diaz is calling for a foul when he was the one climbing all over Akanji. Bit ambitious, if you ask me.
Modric went down on the edge of the penalty area, then under challenge by Wijnaldum, and it looks like it's outside. The referee didn't give anything, and the VAR's had a look, but I don't think they've given anything in the end. That
pass that Mo Salah just gave away. That's the thing that infuriates me. He gives the ball away so cheaply so many times that I don't think it's not acceptable for a player who's supposed to consider himself one of the best in the world.
If he gets that right shot is through down the centre.
That could have been a penalty, or a free kick. No. Oh yeah, he does just slightly touch him, doesn't he? But I think it'd be harsh. Modric leaves his leg trailing more than anything else.
Madrid just had an opportunity, then both whipped in the box and Vinicius heads it wide.
Was it from a Mendy cross?
Yeah.
It's good movement. He peels off the centre-backs, gets into that little pocket, but he's never going to score a header with that sort of floating cross and that far out and on that tight an angle. If Alisson were to be beaten there, if it were on target, then it wouldn't have been good.
It's been quite a quiet start to the game, really. Not much going on. See if Salah can do something here. He's got Trent on the overlap. Trent Alexander-Arnold whips it in, deflects up and into the gloves of Courtois. With Mane coming in at the far post. But Madrid can counter down the other end. No, Liverpool get men back, that's right.
Dortmund are keeping the ball in this little period of play and playing quite deep in their own half, quite dangerously. Well, they seem quite comfortable in doing so, and every now and then a few passes through the City lines that are actually coming off, which could be a key factor into their transitional game. You get through that City midfield line where Rodri and Fernandinho usually cut you off, then you can really get at City. And it looks like that's what they're aiming for, with really nice passing. Oh, and Canal for taking on Walker. Yeah, Walker was just too strong there. But it looked like he might get the better of the English right back. And Pep's just opted for a standard duffel coat tonight. Always happy when he doesn't go overboard, with that horrible one that he had in the last round.
Oh yeah, is that the one with the big badge on the back?
Yeah. That was disgusting, wasn't it? Do it like Turtic. If you're going to do that sort of badge thing that's outlined in that way, Just do it on a cap. Don't do it on a whole coat. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as usual. Love the interaction during these watch-alongs.
Were you saying before, I was just having a thought about you saying before about you weren't surprised if Chelsea won it in the Champions League. It would be the most Chelsea thing ever, wouldn't it? Sack the manager halfway through a season and then
finish outside the Champions League spots as well. Let's not forget that they finished 6th when they won it in 2012. It would be very Chelsea, wouldn't it? I've put money on Chelsea and Villarreal to do it. Villarreal in the Europa League, not in the Champions League, of course. Because Unai Emery's just got this thing with the Europa League, and I think it will continue. Oh, Haaland looked like he might just get past Stones there with a clever touch, but Stones read it really well. Now, I think we can also try and evaluate how Stones and Diaz play against Haaland. Because all eyes might be on Stones now after the England era. But it's one error. It's one error. I don't know if you saw that goal from Poland against England, the error from Stones.
I didn't watch the England game, to be honest.
Okay.
I stopped watching international football as much as after that last tournament, and I watched some of the qualifiers early on. I just found it dead boring.
I don't watch it either, I'll be fair with you, I don't watch it either. Ooh, Walker's just put it cross-field. That's to no one. That's to no one, but Murray doesn't deal with it well. Hitz has dealt with it afterwards. Jamie
asked us to do a couple of watch-alongs for England. I said, I'm just not going to watch them. I just lost interest. I just found very boring games of football at the moment. I said, when the tournament comes around, then I'll give it a watch. Yeah,
I'll do the same. I only watched the second half against Poland, and to be fair, I actually wasn't there for the England games that he watched us to do, so if Jamie was watching, it wasn't because I didn't want to, it was because I genuinely wasn't there. I got back to the second half of Poland, and I don't like it. I don't like international football. And Moda scored the goal, who's a Brighton player who played against Manchester United the other night, and he is some player. I think he looks like he could be really good. So I look forward to see how he progresses. And Brighton have a few good young players. There's Zerke, I think he's called for Swiss under-21 international, who looks really good for them as well. Anyway, beside the point, Pope gives Stones a little bit of a short pass. Stones takes very, very long to look up, and then when he does, then he's got two players around him from Poland and gives the ball away cheaply. They score from it, basically. So it was one of those Stones errors that we thought he eradicated. He committed one again, and I actually thought Pope did give him the ball a bit short, and he should have been stopping the shot in my opinion. Ooh, and it looks like Knauf in. No, the cross is to a City player. And I think Pope has not come under enough criticism compared to Pickford. I think Pickford comes up against a lot of criticism, whereas Pope is the complete opposite. I think Pope often recently is beaten too easily near his near post. The goal that Poland scored wasn't at his near post, but it was just above his head, so he should be probably stopping it. If it were Pickford in goal, I know that everyone would have been saying, oh, short arm Pickford can't get to the ball, it's just above his head. Oh, and Wijnaldum's just put out a play as well. This is really poor from Liverpool, isn't it?
It's not the first time that he's done it this game as well with Wijnaldum, giving the ball away. It's a bit bizarre.
Dangerous position, and Mahrez looks to get at the second post. It just seems too wide, and De Bruyne scored. He managed just to keep the ball in play, Mahrez, on the byline. And Chan lost his marker with De Bruyne, and De Bruyne's got a goal. It's 1-0 to Manchester City.
That's the problem with Emre Can. He never defensively picks up his man. I wasn't a massive fan of him at Liverpool, so when he left to Juventus, I wasn't really that fussed.
He is so frustrating as a player. So De Bruyne starts all off.
Put me in a back three. When Rodgers used to put me in a back three at Liverpool, he used to drive me up the wall.
So De Bruyne starts all off by dribbling past Dahoud and then releases Foden. Foden puts it across the goal on the ground. And then it goes to the far post to Mahrez, but Mahrez's touch just takes it to the byline on the edge of the 6-yard box. He pulls it back to De Bruyne, facing goal on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's basically a tap-in. But it all comes from a bit of a bit of a passive midfield from Dortmund, just letting De Bruyne roam through those spaces. And, yeah, Turk's plan has gone out the window after 18 minutes. 1-0 to Manchester City. Jamie Haaland hat-trick incoming. Part-timers. Whoa, Jamie, let's take it easy. Take a chill pill, Jamie.
We've got lives.
We know that Jamie is the top of the ranking, and you've got second and third place here on this one tonight. But we're sorry, Jamie. We try our best. And City look really in the rhythm. De Bruyne looks really in the mood tonight now. Yeah, now Dortmund have put... Oh, no, wait, no. It's gone off a City play. I was about to say they put it out cheaply, but didn't in the end.
I thought Jota did well a minute ago to keep the ball in play.
What do you think of Jota then? Is he Liverpool's future, or is he just one of those players that'll be useful to come on as a substitute?
I'm a big fan of him. Big fan. I think he's got the potential to be our future number 9, or part of the future front three.
I was about to say Firmino's the number 9, but is he really a number 9?
I think people going back for me, and he has dipped this season. I'm going to say no. Keita went on a dribble, played Jota tried to play him back through, but Madrid defended quite well there. I think for me his levels have dropped this season, but I don't know if it's just the fact that he's had 3 constant years of playing football, because obviously he's a fixture of that Brazil national team as well, so he's had the major tournaments to play with the Brazil national team in the summer, so he's not really had much of a break. I think there is talk of Liverpool looking to sign another striker in the summer, one that can push for a starting position as well. It's good to have competition in those places as well. But I think at the moment Jota's got to be one of the first names on the team sheet. He's scored goals. He scored 3 goals during the international break as well. He scored twice at the weekend against Arsenal. And as soon as he come back from injury, you could see the improvement with the fact that he's the movement on and off the ball as well. The pace he injects in the forward line as well. He's going to cause any opposition problems.
So can have just come down this left wing again, and Walker's dealt with him really well using his strength, and Walker's had a decent start to this game. Yeah, I like Jota. I like what he's done. I wasn't too sure last season at Wolves, considering he was coming back from an injury and just never fully looked up to match fitness. Always thought he was a great explosive player, but he's brought it onto a new level, hasn't he? And clear that some players become better with better players around them, and he's shown that. I think he's been the most effective and efficient player for Liverpool this season, without doubt. De Bruyne's not just put out of play really cheaply. Seems like the narrow pitch argument could be used here as well. Or would that be too easy to say that the quality of the players has just dropped a bit?
It could be. I have to have a look at into that at half time. The length of the pitches.
No offence, you can have the pitch whatever length you want, as long as it's within these sort of rules that they apply. I'm not sure what the minimum is. I'm not sure what the maximum is either. But it is. There's a lot to be played with there.
I think it's supposed to be.
And looks in. No, he just takes a bad touch, and Diaz gets in.
90 yards minimum long, I think.
I don't work in Imperial.
Years ago.
Don't work.
This is years ago when I used to do refereeing, so it's probably changed by then. If you change the rules every 5 minutes.
Is there a penalty to Dortmund here? I'm hoping so. Or is he giving a free kick to City? Because the City players are the ones proclaiming, but his arm's waving the way of the defending team, which is City. And so Rodri makes a big mistake. Get cuts on, and Haaland really goes in on Ederson there. Okay, so Guerrero lobs it in. Oh, it's Royce who tries getting on the end of the ball, but goes into Ederson's abdomen. And yeah, that's nasty foul, but it was unintentional. So total attempts, 1 for City, 1 on target, 2 for Dortmund, 1 on target. Jamie's saying their football is so average at the moment, making mistakes like part-timers. Oh, he's on about Dortmund, the part-timers. Okay. Thought he was
talking about us.
having a dig at us. Good if he isn't. Good if he isn't.
I reckon he's just covering up for himself now.
Yeah, he's just backtracking. We know what you're saying, Jamie. We know what you're saying. And Rodri just getting the ball now to Bernardo Silva. Is he tripped? It doesn't look like it. I really like Bernardo Silva as a player, and I really hope he kicks on every time, every season. I keep saying to myself, I hope he kicks on, but he just doesn't really. He just has still stagnated for these past two or three seasons, and I still think of him as a little child who has got potential, but he's 26 and I think 27 this year, so he's got to get to that level soon, I think. But he is a good player. He's a really good player. Oh, and Akanji's done really well to run up pitch. He must have run about 70 yards easily, or 80 yards, without being tackled. Well, not being tackled, but dribbling through those City players. That's a really good run from him. And now Dortmund have brought it back into their own half. Brilliant. They're running right at City's defence, which is how you break down City, and they stop. Wonder who tries getting the ball across there to Knauf. Oh, and Knauf does really well to keep it in. Gets ahead of Cancelo. Cancelo then defends well.
Oh, 1-0 Madrid.
Oh. Well, this goes to what Agent Tintin was asking us. Are Liverpool playing well?
No.
Tell us, Joe.
no, we're not playing well.
And he says, hi, Jamie. So, Jamie, you're going to have to get in on that one.
It's just typical Route 1 ball down the middle. Vinicius gets in behind the Liverpool centre-backs and rolls it underneath Alisson into the bottom corner. I don't know what the hell we were playing at.
Yeah, but...
I'm just going to look at the replay now. It's at the back. I think it's Tony Cruz who pings the ball. Good ball by Cruz. Great chest down by Vinicius and Phillips and Kabak. Was it Kabak? Or was it Trent? Sorry, Phillips and Trent just...
Ball watching.
Phillips positioning really. Ball watching. Chest down for Vinicius and he's just drilled it low. Alisson stands no chance there. He can't fault the goalkeeper. And Madrid 1-0 up in this tie. And let's be honest, I don't think Liverpool have had a shot on target. So every time we get near the Madrid half, we just seem to lose possession.
You can tell they're inspired by Johnston there with that long ball. But it's a good finish. I mean, that chest down is really well taken by Junior. So Liverpool's young defence has been taught a lesson by a junior. It's 1-0. Jamie saying, hi mate, where's Snowy? What do you mean where's Snowy? But I'm trying to see replays see if Liverpool have held their line correctly, because that's what you worry about when there's a young defence like that with Phillips and Kabak and even Trent Alexander-Arnold. One of the things he typically does is he stays too far back. He cuts that line, and one of the things that you always do with your right back and left back is they've got to be ahead of you. They can't be cutting the line in behind you, because then that just gives a striker space to roam into and then score a goal easily without being offside. And Trent does that way too often, so I'm curious on that video clip. I can't see it because it's gone. Whether he was cutting the offside trap or just the offside line, because it wasn't, for say, a trap. Agent Tintin saying this asleep still. I guess he must be. I think Jamie and Agent Tintin are conversing between them. Yeah, I've just got a friend who's just texting to our football group. Football wasn't made for Phillips. I think, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So 1-0 to both home sides. 2 years in a row, Madrid could be knocking Liverpool out of the Champions League.
Oh yeah, I got you. Atletico last year.
And that was a good turn from Mane. Oh, that was really good to get Asensio out of the game. But the cross was bad in the end.
Oh no.
Oh, and City have got a penalty. They were claiming for a penalty and they've got it. Yep, De Bruyne it's Can. It's Emre Can. Oh my god. So the ball comes in from De Bruyne, there's a few deflections, and then Rodri puts his head in and Emre Can lifts his foot to his head. And Emre Can's going to get a yellow card and he's given away a penalty stupidly because the ball's not in too much of a dangerous area. He actually doesn't even lift. He lifts his, you know where you got your leg like that and you just back heel like that into the face of Rodri. Oh no, that's not a penalty. Actually, looking back, he doesn't lift it that high. That's never a penalty. I do hope VAR will intervene. He barely lifts his foot up. It's not that high. That can't be given as a penalty. I'll be deeply annoyed if that is given as a penalty. Agent Tintin saying, what do you think about Ben Davies not playing again, and do you think he should get a chance?
He should get a chance. What's the point in buying him if they're not going to play? I don't know when they're going to chuck it in. You might see him at the weekend against Villa, hopefully.
Or last resort against the team that put 7 past you, we'll put on Ben Davies for his debut.
I don't know. I feel for the lad because he signed for Liverpool and then has never had a chance of a game. I know he had a problem a couple of weeks ago, apparently a fitness issue or something. The club weren't happy. They didn't think he was up to the level of fitness that was desired. But obviously that was about 3 weeks ago now, so he should be back to that stage. I'd like to see him get a chance. But the big question is, who do you put him in against?
No, obviously, yeah. The referee's gone over to view the penalty, and honestly, that's really poor from Rodri to go down like as if he's been kicked in the face when his foot was nowhere near it. Rodri has gone down really dramatically, screaming as if he's been kicked in the face, and Chan's foot was nowhere near it. In real time, it looked like it, but now you see it, and a good metre away from Rodri's face, yet Rodri has gone down as if he's been assassinated. Cassia Moses saying the match is over, going to sleep, Dortmund is finished. If he's given a penalty for this, I'm going to be deeply disappointed in VAR. And we can't just go on about English referees if this is the case, because this is not an English referee. This is a Belgian one. Hattigan. So.
Moving again.
Is he going to give a penalty? Corner. So he's coming back. Has he made his decision on the penalty? Give the decision. He's making us wait with much suspense. It doesn't look like his hand signals are not telling me what. Oh, no penalty, no foul. Good. I was actually worried myself because I thought that'd be a terrible decision. He's just having a talking to Chan now. Rodri looks shocked. He must have felt that he didn't get kicked in the face. The thing that came into Rodri's face was the ball.
So you'll have to wipe off the yellow card then?
Yes.
For Chan?
Yes, sure. I'm hoping so, but what I'm seeing on the match is still apparent. It's not been wiped. He hasn't even said no yellow card, so I'm curious. This is really weird. I'm weirded out by this.
Strange.
Oh, and City have won the ball back deep into Dortmund's half, so not very good from them. Bellingham's on the ball, and he's given the ball away to Rodri there. Rodri's just tackled hard there, yet he didn't go down as if he'd been assassinated. Strange that, isn't it? Also, what do you think about Kimmus, says Agent Tintin. I'm guessing that's asking you, Joe, because I've not even seen him play, or he's going to turn out to be this Greek tragedy.
I don't know about Sivikash. I haven't seen much of him, to be honest, to really judge. He looked alright in the cup tie against Lincoln, but that's a side that's like 2 leagues below you. So I can't really judge on that.
In League 2. Well, we've determined can he do it on a cold Tuesday night, but that's not really going to define a world-class player, is it?
And he's only had about 5 minutes here and there in a couple of the Champions League games off the top of my head. So I don't know. He's got good potential, and he looked half decent at Olympiacos last year. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of. I can't really judge, to be honest, fairly, because I've hardly seen him play.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wish I could.
But he's good potential, but he's 25 next month.
Yeah.
So he could go.
Cost 11 million bench option. So.
He could go into that Man City defence because he was born in May. Now, if people watch this regularly, they'll know my obsession with trying to find players. No, he's not born close enough to Cancelo, Walker, and wait, it's Stones, Cancelo. It's not Laporte. It's Diaz. Forget it. Because they've got Walker, Cancelo, Stones now, who are all born on the 28th or 29th of May. Forget it. Diaz is born in March, not on 28th of May like Laporte. Okay, just to come back to this game, City look dominant. They look like they're going to tear Dortmund apart, or if they get a genuine chance, they might score. But they're not getting into really good positions to score yet. When they have, they've scored, which was the goal De Bruyne scored. Well, but Dortmund now look uncomfortable playing it out from the back. Oh, and they've won it up high up the pitch. Oh, that was frustrating. Knauf slipped and he could have got Haaland away. And if Haaland was in at the City defence then, he'd have backed himself.
Oh. Alexander Arnold's just played a long ball and Mane was running through and it's gone down to a challenge from Vasquez. The referee's giving nothing, but it'd have been interesting to see because I didn't really see because the camera was quite slow to catch up with play, so I didn't quite see it properly, but it'd be interesting to see a replay on that one to see what happened. The referee was about 30 yards away from play. Oh, what are you doing?
That's a nice ball, isn't it?
That's 2-0.
2-0, is it?
That was woeful. Didn't quite catch who did the header. I'm not sure it was Kabak. Ball flicked in and he's headed it backwards.
So Cruz put it off field again. Oh no,
Yeah,
it's Arnold. Oh, it's Trent.
It was Trent.
That was awful from Trent. Oh my god. And City has got a shot on goal, but Hitz has saved it comfortably. Oh my god. Well, that hasn't helped Alexander's England case after the great performance last weekend.
What is he doing? Why is he heading it that direction? Across goal. And then Vasquez just takes one touch to lift it over Alisson and another to pop it in the net.
Oh, that's a terrible mistake.
It's abysmal.
I feel like commenting on our group with Let's Talk Sport, but they're talking about a very serious issue, so I don't want to be the one, unseriously like, hey, look at this mistake. I was still talking about Chris Sutton's dad and dementia in football, so it's inappropriate, right? That's a good chip from Asensio, eh?
I'm keeping out of that conversation. It's a bit bit sad.
Okay, so I'm awake now. No penalties. Says Cassia Moses. Okay, good. Jamie Davis. I regret buying a Kronos shirt after seeing that Cruz ball. A Cruz shirt. Okay, you bought a Kronos shirt or a Cruz shirt? Oh, Edison looks injured. What's happened here? Just going to look at this quickly. Guerrero puts the ball over, and Edison tries dribbling it. Oh no, I just missed that. So Bellingham takes the ball off Edison. Edison who tried dribbling it, and I don't know why the goal's been disallowed, because Bellingham does well to take the ball away from Edison. Then Edison kicks Bellingham's foot, and Edison goes down injured. Bellingham goes towards an empty net and put the ball in, but it was a foul on Bellingham. It wasn't a foul on Edison, and the referee has given that against Dortmund. Can VAR check that? Because I think that's got to be a goal. Dortmund. That's got to be a goal. Bellingham does nothing wrong. He takes the ball. And the free kick to City. Now, Edison does everything wrong there. And anyway, hello gentlemen. Question for Joe. Can Liverpool afford a loss tonight without scoring a goal? Or does he think that they can turn this around no matter the score tonight in the second leg at Anfield? Well, history's on their side, isn't it? If they turn around a first defeat away in Spain... You can finish the sentence, can't you?
Well, it's definitely possible, but it depends on how many goals we concede, doesn't it, really? If it stayed 2-0, I think we could still do it in the second leg. But
3-0?
But 3-0, you're looking a bit difficult, especially with our defensive issues.
They're showing that replay again, and Bellingham doesn't foul Edison whatsoever. Edison kicks Bellingham underneath, and that's a terrible decision. And now, this is the third time in the game Dortmund have pressured Edison, and they might get a goal that way. But coming back to Liverpool, can they lose 3-0 and then turn it around? With a Origi brace and one Wijnaldum brace, against Spanish teams.
Don't see it. I just don't see it with the way that they're performing tonight. I don't know. It's the two goals from errors, our own errors, really. The first one's a long ball down, and Phillips doesn't even track his man in. Vinicius comes through, chests it down, drills it into the bottom corner of the net. And then the second one is a Trent Alexander-Arnold header. I don't even get why he's heading it in the direction that he heads it. Long ball, and he heads it.
If you're that far away from the ball, at least try going towards the ball in a different fashion, not diving a header and into the near the centre of the pitch, because he comes onto the ball and he's going to dive that towards the middle of Liverpool's defence. So that's always dangerous no matter what, especially if you're off balance. So there's no point in that. Just get that little extra step. Maybe protect the ball from whoever's running in behind. Asensio, and Foden's in here, and he's going to take a shot. Hitz makes the save. That's been called offside.
You're that far away from goal as well, so he's not going to get enough on it to get it back to Alisson.
But it's another dangerous ball from Cruz, isn't it? So, Jamie said, okay. So Jamie Burgoyne has got involved, saying Norwich are 5-0 up against Huddersfield at half time. Okay, aren't Huddersfield really terrible recently? And Norwich, the team in the Championship. I don't know. I don't watch Championship football, so I'm actually asking your opinion, Jamie. Jamie Davis says Bellingham deserves a goal. I agree. I think that should have been a goal. Cassia Moses saying, I'm upset VAR rightly disallowed the penalty, but the Bellingham goal is a terrible decision. Agree as well. The penalty wasn't a penalty, but the foul on Ederson was never a foul. Bellingham tips the ball because Ederson tries controlling the ball and it bounces up in front of him. Bellingham tips the ball out of Ederson's control, but while tipping the ball out of Ederson's control, Ederson whacked Bellingham underneath the foot. Ederson injures himself, stays down, but Bellingham goes into an empty net and puts the ball in, and it's disallowed because it's a foul on Ederson. I'm confused as well.
I know there was a foul in the build-up to Madrid goal. We had a foul on Mane before, and obviously they didn't give it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't give us an excuse to switch off. Down the other end of the pitch, because I think that's what's happened. Certain players have switched off because we didn't get the foul, and Sentio's gone down the other end and put the ball in there. Cater's come off.
Yeah, I was just about to say before we got onto anything else. Haaland's closing down Ederson. No, when you put such a young defence on, again with Cater in front of them, you get what you get, Klopp. I mean. Was it disrespectful him putting Kabak Phillips, and with Cater in front of them? Was that a bit too disrespectful towards Real Madrid? Maybe. I think it might have been. Oh,
for God's sake, nearly. Kabak making an error then, and Vasquez, I think it was, that got him behind. Oh, no, Sentio, sorry, that got him behind, and he's just drawn a shot across the face of goal and it didn't go in, luckily. But yeah, it's a bit bizarre on start Cater, especially with his fitness issues. He's not really played much recently.
Yeah, it seems weird, didn't it?
And Thiago, I thought he hasn't done too bad in recent games. And with him being, having the experience in the Spanish league and stuff from not that long ago, surely his experience and his ability to dictate the play and tempo in the midfield would have been key.
He's very Spanish-esque, and that's what changed the Bundesliga, or Bayern Munich's Bundesliga team. There was a bit more of a how to say, he's a clever player. I'm not his biggest fan. I think he was very much overhyped this summer, but he's a very clever player in that way, breaking up play, and also a good playmaker. So it made sense to have that against Real Madrid when you've got such a robust midfield in Modric, Cruz and Casemiro.
Liverpool got a free kick to the right of the Real Madrid penalty area, so it's going to have to be whipped in on the angle that it is.
I have to give it to Dortmund. I think they're actually doing okay. They're defending reasonably well, and they're creating some chances and putting pressure on Ederson and the centre-back sometimes. And Knauf isn't actually doing too bad, given it's his first start.
It's interesting to see if Cater's been pulled off due to another injury or if it's a tactical switch.
Jamie Davis saying, Joe, you beat Barca 4-0 in that second leg. I think we came on to that, didn't we? But
yeah, I did predict that as well, Jamie, if you remember rightly, because you laughed at me and said not going to happen.
That's what Connor's comment was right after it. I thought you said that would never happen, Jamie. And Jamie Davis responding, I need specifications before we take this further, young Porter. Condescending use of young Porter there. And Guerrero looks to get Haaland in. Haaland's in the box, but Stones isn't letting him turn. He's Knauf on the edge of the box. Gets the Guerrero and a shot. No, just deflected there. Blocked by Rodri.
I remember Connor did a nice little edit when that happened, when we turned it around and put it on Twitter, but Twitter took it down due to copyright, where he had the clip of me and JB talking about the game, and I said, yeah, Liverpool win 4-0, and JB's laughing, nah, not going to happen, mate, and all that lot. And then it goes like, the screen goes black and white, and he says it's in slow motion, and then it goes to the clip of the Origi goal, the second one. But then Twitter took it down. It was up for about a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes, I think, and then Twitter took it down due to copyright, yeah. I said, come on, spoil sports. Probably got a copy somewhere, floating somewhere.
We'll come up to half-time in both games. I'm actually on exactly the same minute in both games, so I am happy. Connor Porter, I can find a video in the group chat. Please do so. I think I have seen it, but I would love to see it again. 1 minute at a time here, 1 minute in the other one. Okay.
The funny thing is, I said it just as tongue-in-cheek to wind Jamie off, and it turned out to come true, so it made me look like a genius.
Mahrez just tried one of those shots outside the box. It was a pretty poor effort on the ground, but then even so, Bernardo Silva blocked it, so it took even more of the power out of the shot, and Berkey deals with it easily. And I think both games might be as they are now going into half-time.
Yeah, got about 5 seconds. Half-time.
Just coming up to half-time here as well.
Oh, I have to pull our finger out in the second half.
Have to put what?
Pull our finger out in the second half.
And Dortmund have just put it out, play there cheaply. And half-time here as well. So, Joe, thoughts on that first half?
Absolutely abysmal.
Abysmal.
I'm not more of these people that, you know me, and people that watch streams, I'm not more of these people that heavily criticises, Liverpool and my team. But we've offered very little going forward. And then the 2 goals were from our own errors defensively. That Real Madrid scored. Great finishes by the Madrid players, don't get me wrong. But the leading up to it were defensive errors. The first one, like I said, long ball from Cruz. And if he's given time, he's just going to pick one of those balls out. It's just in his locker. He's capable of it, and he's pinged the ball down. And Phillips and Trent, neither of them have picked up Vinicius, and Vinicius has gone in the gap between the two. Phillips tries to make up for the error. He's chested it down, cut inside, right foot shot, bottom corner. And the second one, I don't know what the heck Trent Alexander-Arnold's doing. But it's that man, Tony Cruz, again, long ball, long, and Trent Alexander-Arnold heads it across. He's about 25 yards from goal, across the space of goal, across the pitch, sorry. And Asensio's through, flicks it over Alisson, and then volley into the back of the net, because the way that Trent's headed it, none of our centre-backs are able to pick it up, and obviously it wouldn't matter that if Asensio's in offside position, because it's come off our player. And it's stupid schoolboy defending from Trent that's caused the second goal, and we're struggling.
Yeah, and just to draw up a few stats, talking about possession lost, I know I talk about this one quite often, so but and I always bring it up when we're talking about one particular player, Trent Alexander-Arnold. In that first half, he lost the ball 13 times. Second most in that game, Andrew Robertson, 9 times. Third, Diogo Jota with 9 times as well. So I think it could kind of summarise a lot up. As you mentioned right at the beginning of the game, there were balls going out of play. It was pretty poor quality. I have to admit, I didn't have my eye fully on this game. Didn't even have it fully on the other game either. But it seemed like there was poor quality of football from both. But the highlights. Sorry.
What?
That pitch, 105 metres by 68.
Just been told that the pitch at Stefano is 105 metres by 68. I don't know if you picked that up.
I did pick it up, yeah. And it's good to know that. So it's a standard-sized pitch.
Man working in the background.
It's a standard-sized pitch still. It's still pretty standard. I think 68 metres is quite, or 65 is quite a narrow pitch. But yeah, that also reinforces your argument to some extent. As I was mentioning, the stats kind of highlights that Liverpool were a bit worse than Real Madrid. The person who actually completed the most passes in that game was Kabak, so I mean, that's me wrong. And all of Cruz's long balls, the 5 attempted, 5 successful. There was one that was successful for the first goal, and then the second one, I don't know how they classed it as successful, considering that Alexander-Arnold technically intercepted the ball. But technically, we're drawing fine lines here. And in the City game... Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, I thought of a good line here. I was going to say, would you say it's safe to say that Madrid are in Cruz control?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And even just watching it, Cruz has been outstanding, hasn't he? From what I've seen of it, Cruz seemed to control the game almost. And that's the thing about this Real Madrid midfield. If it ain't Casemiro, if it ain't Modric, it's Cruz. If it ain't, it's either one of those three that was always just outstanding in a game. And they're all really world-class players, but all three of them together make such a complementary midfield that could be enough to win a Champions League. I'm not saying they will, but with a midfield like that, they give themselves a good chance. Jamie Davis saying, "Oh, the match preview we did." Yes, Jamie. Yes, the match preview. Just to go over a few stats in that Real Madrid and Liverpool game. So possession is 64% to Real Madrid, 36 to Liverpool, which doesn't bode well. Oh no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong game here. That was Manchester City Dortmund. 46 to Real Madrid, 54 to Liverpool. So they're dominating in possession. Total shots, Real Madrid 8. Do you want to know how many Liverpool had?
None, I don't think. Or
None. None.
Yeah.
Shots on target, Real Madrid 4. Liverpool, none. Shots off target, Real Madrid 2. Liverpool, none. Blocked shots, Real Madrid 2. Liverpool, none. Corner kicks, Real Madrid 4. Liverpool 1. Offsides, Liverpool weren't even offside once. But they are up on one thing. They committed 5 fouls to Real Madrid's 4. And if you look at all the stats, they've completed more passes and a higher amount of accurate passes. Oh, and they're also beating them in possession lost. If not, there's nothing really to shout about for Liverpool in that first half. But, possession doesn't win you games. And that's what Real Madrid do now. They're very, very efficient. They don't keep the ball that often. They're not a possession-based side, but they will create chances and get goals from them. And even what I've seen, I don't know about you, did Benzema seem quite quiet in that first half?
Yeah, he's been quite quiet. He's only had, I think, one opportunity that I know of, other than the shot in the first couple of minutes, which was tame from outside the box. I think he had a second opportunity, which deflected wide, but it was never going to trouble the goalkeeper from that area. Other than that, he hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him much.
I think it's been more trouble from the wingmen, Asensio and Vinicius. There's been more trouble between
the two have got goals, right?
Yeah.
Now I can go over to the game I was watching, or kind of partially watching. I'll say that very reluctantly.
I'm just going to go and grab my phone. I'll be 2 seconds.
No worries. So possession stats are that Manchester City 64%, Borussia Dortmund 36%. Total shots, they're both equal with 3. 2 on target for City, 1 for Dortmund. 0 off target for both, which shows some sort of efficiency. 1 blocked shot for City, 2 for Dortmund. Anyway, it seems like City have dominated possession, which is largely expected, but Dortmund have actually kept reasonable shape, which is also quite surprising. I think they should have had a goal with Bellingham's goal that they did score. Ederson's been put under pressure sometimes. When he's got the ball or when he's coming for the ball, Dortmund have looked to really put him under some severe pressure, and it looks like it can work. There was a penalty that was given against Dortmund when Emre Can flicked his heel underneath the boot or underneath the ball, and Rodri headed the ball down, but that was eventually turned over by VAR, rightfully so in my opinion. But I think also the Bellingham goal should have been given to Dortmund. What I find weird is that
and I'm back.
Good. Sorry. What I find weird is the yellow card for Emre Can stays, which is really odd, because he deemed it not a penalty, which means it's not a foul, yet he has kept the yellow card on Emre Can, which just, I don't understand. I didn't even know that you could do that. So that's Emre Can's second yellow card of the tournament, if I'm not wrong. That means he'll be suspended for the return leg against City. I don't get that. I really don't get it. And I think if Dortmund appeal it, they can get that overturned because you can't give a yellow card for a non-foul, right? If VAR has deemed it not a foul.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Exactly. Jude Bellingham is also the other player in this match who has got a yellow card, and that's his first, so that's fine, no suspension. Haaland is also at risk of getting a second yellow, which will mean suspension in the next game if he does get that yellow card. That I saw briefly on the lineup at the beginning of the match. Or did I? Did I see that? I don't know. I don't understand these rules anymore, where it's eradicated from the quarterfinals or semis, or I don't know what. There's too many rules now that change.
I think after the quarters, they might wipe out the cards. I'm just trying to remember.
So Haaland can kick out someone in the next match, not this match.
I think as long as you've not picked up a card in the quarters, I think. So I think if you've so you're one away from the suspension for the semi. If you don't get any cards to the quarters, I think it's wiped. But if you do, obviously you take your suspension. I think I might be wrong on that one. I'm just trying to remember.
I always understood it as 2 yellow cards and you're suspended for the next game, but then I thought that they eradicated it starting from maybe the quarters or the semis and just clean slate, which I don't know. I don't like the rule anyway. I like the rule in the Premier League over the long season. 5 yellow cards, 1 match suspension, 10, 2, 15, probably get arrested. I don't know. But then again, we could have contenders like Yves Bissouma and Granit Xhaka for those 15 yellow cards.
Quite rate Bissouma. He's quite a good player.
Oh, he is. Oh, yeah. I think he'll play for a top 4 side soon. And I think he's really good. But he does pick up a lot of yellow cards and a lot of, well, not red, but a lot of yellow cards at least, which could be a hindrance because he does get suspended. I think he picked up, I want to say 12 last season yellow cards. Oh no, I am completely wrong. He hasn't picked up that many whatsoever. I will retract what I said. I know that Granit Xhaka does. Because I tried looking up once the amount that him and his brother have picked up because they both like to pick up a lot of yellow cards. Granit Xhaka, excluding this season, the 3 seasons before, picked up 10 yellow cards each season. And it was even worse. While at Mönchengladbach, 1 season he picked up 9, and then 2 other seasons he picked up 12 yellow cards. And in Germany they play less games. I think after you've accumulated a certain amount of yellow cards in your life, I think you should just get suspended for longer.
Sergio Ramos wouldn't play then.
No, he wouldn't. He's picked up the most red cards, I think, in Champions League, hasn't he? Or am I wrong in that?
I think so, yeah.
If anyone knows, then please comment because I'm intrigued by that now with the yellow cards. So, what do you think Liverpool need to do to turn this game around in the second half?
Attack.
Sounding like a very exasperated suggestion now. Oh, damn it.
It's crazy because we've only got so far. Like, you get so far up the pitch, and then you just hit this white wall from Madrid, and then they're off down the other end on the counter. I just
they're so efficient. It seems like an impossible challenge. And what do Liverpool have in their weaponry to counter the Liverpool? Sorry, not counter Liverpool. What do Liverpool have that could beat Madrid? It seems like their best team already that's out there.
Yeah, obviously with Thiago now coming on as a sub, that should sort out the midfield a bit.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Give a bit more of a tempo in the middle of the park. But I don't know. It's a bit of a bizarre one, really. I don't, like I said to you, I was so surprised when he started Naby Keita.
It seemed weird, didn't it? It seemed really just strange more than anything else.
I don't know whether they put Keita in to try and drive at the Madrid defence, but he didn't end up doing that, did he?
So when Keita has started, he started in the Fulham match that they lost, and the match he started before that was the 7-0 win against Crystal Palace. But yeah, not a lot of match fitness, to be fair. doesn't make sense to me either, especially in one of their biggest games of the season. Because let's be honest, the league's gone. The league is gone. I don't think Liverpool actually can win mathematically, so they've got to put all their eggs in this basket, the Champions League. Yeah, and start Keita, I thought, weird. Yeah, I'm not too sure what Klopp was thinking. I think Klopp has a lot of he has to foot a lot of the blame tonight. Now in this game for Dortmund versus City, I'd like to think, how would Dortmund turn this around? Hard to say, because it's not like they've got extremely world-class options on the bench. You could bring on Brandt, Hazard, not Reina, maybe. There's not that many options for Dortmund to turn it around against such a world-class side like City. I was a bit surprised that Knau started. Okay. And he's actually doing an okay job right now, so maybe he deserves more of a run out on the pitch. But their game plan's actually alright. They're not conceding too many clear-cut chances against City. They're actually putting them under quite some pressure. I think if they continue, they could get themselves a goal. Not saying that they will, but they could. So they're coming out onto the pitch now and see if they can really turn us around in the second half. I'd like to see them turn it around just for the pure pleasure of a tense second leg, you know. I think if Dortmund have to go back home and have, say, for instance, a 2-goal deficit, then there's no chance. Whereas if they've got a away goal, that could be interesting.
Luke Tanner in the Let's Talk Sport group was just catching up bits, just said, we are getting nowhere near the Real Madrid players. Well, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it seems like I actually was very critical of Spanish football given how they were performing in competitions. If you look at Real Sociedad against United, I thought, or if you look at Atletico Madrid against Chelsea, Barcelona against PSG, and then I actually thought to myself, okay, is Spanish football dropping in its levels? It must be, because if one Spanish team plays badly, okay, but if they all play badly, then you start thinking to yourself, wow, the league must be at a really low standard. What does it say about Liverpool that Real Madrid are actually running all over Liverpool? Probably means that Liverpool aren't that good a side either. Currently now, they're not. It's shocking that Nathan Phillips can start a Champions League match, in my opinion. Yeah, I think he's done a good job filling in at Liverpool for every now and then, but it's shocking that a player like that can start a Champions League quarter-final match.
It's not good, and there's a reason why he's been linked with moves to the likes of Burnley next season.
Well, disrespecting Burnley there. But I get what you mean. I mean, someone who isn't really good at passing, you'd be the perfect partner for Ben Mee. Let's both not pass together.
He's an old school centre-back, and him and Kabak have done quite well over the last, 3-4 games, trying to fill the void. But in the Champions League quarter-final against a top opposition, their inexperience is going to show.
Yeah,
it's eventually. And obviously, it didn't at the weekend. Arsenal were well off the pace at the weekend. Arsenal
were the side competing for top half of the table like they are now. With all due respect to them, because let's be honest, that's where they are now. And my match is underway at 45 minutes. I'm guessing yours is the same too. Yours 45:30. I'm guessing about.
Yeah, mine's about 45:50, but
well ahead of me because my Liverpool match is actually a bit delayed.
I'll keep you updated.
Oh yeah, I'm counting on you there, Joe. I'll put you in the little frame where it's the Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium, the Alfredo Fettuccino Stadium. It doesn't seem like any changes have been made here. I can't see any clear changes that have been made in this match. Does it look like any changes have been done in the Liverpool match?
No changes. I was just trying to figure out what was going on then. Mane and Militao both gone down. It was Militao who's fouled Mane. And Militao's still down, acting like he's been hit outside the nightclub. I don't know.
So doing like Rodri did before.
Yeah.
And Jota's actually had a poor half statistically. I need you to confirm me that and actually having watched the game, did he have a poor first half?
He had a quiet half. I think the statistics make him look worse than he was, but he had a quiet half. Didn't really get much of the ball, to be honest, so he didn't really have a chance to make much of impact. There was an opportunity where if Salah got the pass right, he would have been in.
Mm-hmm. It said that he attempted 6 duels and he was successful in none of them.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. But then again, he's a striker. He's a small striker. It's not as if he's going to be winning those duels, especially against the likes of Militao, who's a lot bigger, and Nacho is bigger than him. Ooh, Bellingham, De Hoot, had a awkward control but lose it to De Bruyne. And Akanji recovers well there. Oh, De Hoot has just turned De Bruyne really well and got a pass through for Haaland. Can Haaland beat Diaz to it? He does, and he's an on goal. Ooh. Ederson saves it. Ederson makes himself big there. Comes out quickly, but De Hoot does really well to get Haaland in there. And Haaland's disappointed in himself. He probably could have taken it round Ederson. He knocks off Diaz as if Diaz is much more inferior being to him. I mean, really well played from both De Hoot and Haaland. But unfortunately, they couldn't capitalise, and that puts Dortmund, well, they've had the first shot of the second half. The first shot on target, for that matter.
Yellow card for Vasquez for a foul on Jota.
I see De Hoot now wearing the number 8, and I remember that on the opposing team, Gundogan used to wear that for Dortmund. I think he wore the number 8. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Both have similar haircuts, similar height, both German. I think you've got to have a certain style to wear that number 8 for Dortmund.
He scored the Champions League final, didn't he? Ilkay Gundogan penalty.
Oh, did he? Oh, now Diaz has tried getting his own back on Haaland, and he's fouled him. That's going to be an interesting one. But it was a cheap foul from Diaz. So I think we can see who's the stronger of the two. So Jota will probably want to get one over the Spanish counterpart there, being Portuguese as he is.
We've only obviously come up for 5 minutes into the second half. A little bit more of a brighter start this half by Liverpool. At least they've actually got into the Madrid box.
Kyle Walker's just committed a foul and he's desperately negotiating to not get a card, but I'm sure the Kyle Walker card will come soon. Oh, that should have been given as a yellow. That should have been given as a yellow to Walker.
Robertson got down the left, whipped in the ball, but easy take for Courtois in the end, up against Mane. That's where you need a big, tall lad coming into that to try and challenge the keeper and head the ball.
Who is the tall lad that Liverpool have?
No one. Pretty much.
Yeah,
well, not in the forward positions.
Even Kabak isn't that big. Phillips is quite big, but I'm still not convinced him as a header. I think the best header of the ball in Liverpool squad is Van Dijk and then Matip.
Yeah, and both are on the treatment table.
Yeah, exactly.
That's better from Wijnaldum. That's better.
Dortmund are playing really well the second half, actually, now.
Salah is in! Liverpool got an away goal.
We know those are worth quite a bit.
It's Mo Salah, it's Jota. He's gone past a couple of players, goes to hit a shot. I thought it looked like he was fouled then, but he doesn't get the shot off. The ball comes through to Salah, takes a touch and smashes it into the net off the underside of the bar. Madrid are claiming for offside, but the referee hasn't given the offside. I'll have to have a look at the replay now. Jota... He's onside. He's onside. It's Vasquez that's playing Salah on.
Wijnaldum does really well in that build-up, doesn't he?
Very well. That's what we missed from him in the first half, with those driving runs. That's what I think Keita was put in for, and obviously Keita didn't deliver. And Wijnaldum's just done that. And that's what we needed a bit more of in the second half, some driving runs from midfield. And Courtois should be doing better.
Yeah, but it was awkward, wasn't it, though, the way it bounced, and then he's also probably committed to that first Jota shot.
Game on.
He's caught flat-footed because he's getting ready for that Jota shot, and then he has to come out to Salah, which is unexpected.
They're checking it on VAR, but they shouldn't be disallowed. He's miles onside.
Yeah, it seemed weird if they did. And shot from Foden's just gone well wide. Well built up by City, but then the shot is just dragged wide. And that's probably City's first shot of the second half. I think Dortmund have come out of the blocks really quite well in the second half, keeping the ball really well and getting it forward. De Hood is actually playing a big part in doing so and getting those balls spread across the field and getting Dortmund into decent positions. Whereas Chan is still looking fragile in that midfield, and I think Terzic knows what he has to do. So they're checking for offside, and I don't really see the offside because Salah's foot is even on the line, and it's Lucas who is even behind that line. You know, where the grass is cut. Yeah, it's been given, and rightly so. And Walker's driving down that. Oh, there's no one in the box for him to give it to.
What a ball! Oh, Trent Alexander-Arnold's just played a delightful ball. What a 30-40 yard ball across field, and it's gone to Jota at the far post, who's headed it. I couldn't quite see from the camera angle. He's just gone wide of the target.
So a successful cross from Alexander-Arnold, eh?
Well, that would have been a turnaround, wouldn't it, if that would have gone in?
Oh, why? It already kind of is. They just need the one home goal. But Liverpool are getting into more decent positions. Salah's dropping to get it to Mane, and there's a bit more of a free flow. But Jota's still staying on that last line. There's a sense of direction, but there's more free flow into the way they're building up play. Jamie Burgoyne getting in touch saying, would Greg Doherty get into this Liverpool side? Don't know who Greg Doherty is, but I'm just going to say no. Just no. I'm not going to give that question any sort of credit. No.
Name rings a bell, but I'm not sure he plays for.
Agent Tintin, I just screamed, and I think my dad hates me now, but I don't know. Thank you, Liverpool, and thank you, Mark. Mark? Liverpool, did you have a bet on it? You legend, thank you. Now Dortmund on the ball in there in half, and City have got bodies up, but they're not exactly sprinting to close Dortmund down. So do Madrid look a bit frail now, or do they still look quite good?
They've just got hold of possession at the moment. Just starting to try and get a foothold back in the game. Madrid are trying to dictate the play. They just at the moment just got the ball about and just spreading passes across the pitch, trying to move the Liverpool players about. I think Liverpool seem to look like they've changed formation slightly. Or they had when they were off the ball then. They looked like they'd gone 4-4-2-3-1 then. But when they're not in possession, and then the 4-3-3 when they're back in.
Agent Tintin retracting his message. There's no need to do that, Agent Tintin. There's no need. Now Royce on the ball. Can he run at the City defence? He cannot. Dortmund probably dominated possession in the second half. It seems like it. And De Hood getting a crossfield pass again, and this time, yes. Oh, Mori just about didn't get the shot away. It was well tipped away by Cancelo.
Trent, it's a ball. Oh, headed out and away. Thiago sliding in there, fouling in, picking up a booking.
Ah, Thiago. My God, he's just a yellow card waiting to happen.
That's the Barcelona man in him, innit? Thought it was El Clasico for a second then.
Oh, yeah.
Foul on Asensio, I think. Yeah, Asensio.
Not to confuse them with Lucas Vasquez because they look similar.
They look similar, and the shirt numbers look similar from a distance.
They've both got a 1 in them at some point. Now it's just City on the ball again. Comfortable. Just roaming into Dortmund's half slowly. And just building up, and you feel like there might be a goal at the end of this sort of passage of play. But I've seen less Cancelo in the playmaker role this match. He seems to just be stuck out wide, and that's the way he's going to play the whole match, and just try and attack every now and then down that flank. Bernardo Silva takes it back into his own half. Can he get it forward? Just gets it across to Kyle Walker. And this game's slowed down a bit.
There's Benzema. Cuts past one, cuts past two, cuts inside the area. Has a shot. Great defended by Phillips there. Salah. But he gets crowded out and Madrid regain possession. Mendy. Cruz. Casemiro. He goes for one, blocked, and Thiago gets possession, but then it's back in Madrid again. But Madrid have it on the halfway line now. And it's back to Courtois in the goal.
It looks like the number 9 for City is getting ready to warm up, so it's a day late, but the rise of Jesus is upon us. Yeah, I had to put that in somewhere. I had to. And it's Bernardo Silva coming off, so...
I was going to make a pun about him getting on the end of crosses, but I don't think that's appropriate.
That's better. That's better. Well, if he scores, then he would have ended this 3-day drought.
Ah. That's good. Shot has gone down, but Liverpool play on. Salah's ball in. Oh, headed just behind. Go on, Robbo. Oh, couldn't pull it back. Liverpool looking menacing. Too nice at times.
Oh, and Royce looks to break behind Walker. Oh, Walker looked like he might have just slightly touched him, but it would have been a cheap foul. Yeah.
They're just taking Mick out.
Now. Sorry, yeah, go on.
Just taking the mick out the replay and VAR there, because they said it took a long time for them to decide whether it was onside or offside, and they said it's obvious on the replay.
It does seem obvious, yeah. And this game's died down a bit. No real full throttle football, no real attacking intent from both teams. Looks like it's just they're both happy to keep possession for short periods of the game and not really do much with it. Because when it gets to the final third, they both just lose it with long balls. Oh, and I say that as Cancelo just gets one over to Jesus. And Foden looked like he might be in, but Dortmund managed to get round him and defend. Oh, and he's been called offside. So it wouldn't have counted anyway. I just about looked offside, Jesus. Just about. That's what Cancelo's supposed to do. Cut inside, act as a playmaker. Haaland brings it back to Bellingham. Oh, I know, I say that. Canal falls over and Murray gets the ball. Haaland gets the ball on the edge of the box. Is that a foul? It is. Dortmund have got the free kick right on the edge of the box, and it's Stones who gives away the foul. Haaland tries taking control of the high cross from Murray, and Stones sticks a leg out really needlessly, because Haaland's touch taking the ball away from him, so there's no real danger yet. Stones concedes a silly free kick there, and it's just on the edge of the D, and this could be Royce territory, or Royce from 3 years ago at least. I'm not too sure about Royce now. This is probably one of their best chances to get an away goal, Dortmund. Oh, and I just saw Thiago give it away cheaply in his own penalty area, trying to head it away.
I wouldn't say the beat in the air is that good. One of his strengths, if I can say English properly. He's not one of his strengths.
He tries chesting it down, and then Asensio takes it off him really easily. It was lack of concentration, which happens way too often for Thiago. Seem to be lining up like a 6-man or 7-man wall there. No one lying down below it though. Okay. It's going to
Good
be
ball by Salah then. Good ball to play Mane through, but he just couldn't get the touch. He gets the touch, he's in.
Royce is looking ready to take it. Or Guerrero, but I think it's going to be Royce. And it just goes into the wall. See? And then he got... comes back to him and then the shot. It's really, really poor. All that build-up for nothing. Oh no, Diaz does really well to jump up and head it away. The free kick looked alright, but Diaz actually jumps really high. And it's Reina coming on, Knauf coming off, which I thought was weird, Knauf starting anyway and not Reina. Don't know if the Turchik doesn't rate Reina because he doesn't seem to get many starts. Or not as many at least.
Why did Mendy have to be there? Jota driving forward, plays it to Robertson, who flicks it back in. I think it was Manny that was getting there, and Mendy just puts a challenge in and puts it out for a Liverpool corner. Just as Jota flips it back in towards Mane, Mendy manages to get a challenge in and put it out for the corner to stop Mane making it 2-2.
There's one thing, the pitch might not be different size here at City. Oh, it's a great tackle from Mendy. Great interception. But there's one thing in this City match, and the pitch looks like it's quite wet because they're slipping all over the place, these Dortmund players, or these City players generally. Oh, and Walker's giving it away cheaply there.
Chance
Rodri,
Arnold.
sorry.
Good challenge there. Madrid went straight down the other end. Courtois rolls it out quickly. I think it's Cruz that plays in Asensio, and Asensio's through, and instead of he's blitzed Thiago for pace. Instead of going for goal, he goes to try and pull it across, and Trent's there luckily to put the challenge in, prevent the ball going across, and he prevents the corner as well. Oh, 3-1. Poor goalkeeping.
Oh.
Throw in. I'm saying about how Trent did really well to prevent the corner. It's throw in, and it's
and
essentially pulls it across.
Here, but Hit saves it with his feet from Foden. In a similar position that Roy got his first goal, but Hitz has got his feet down this time. He's learned not to come out to the edge of the 6-yard box, and decent save.
Pulls it across, right-footed, low shot, squirms under Alisson, and it's 3-1 to Madrid.
Yeah, so questionable from Alisson again. Questionable. I mean, in the build-up, Benzema does well, doesn't he? He holds it up, creates the play, but yeah, not good from Liverpool, and they're giving themselves a mountain to climb after having climbed some of it already. Dahoud looks to break. No, not Dahoud. Reina. Oh! Diaz nearly gave it away to Royce there, and Edison just gets a hold of it. I'm not sure how that's not a back pass. So it's Modric who gets the assist for the goal. Yeah, Alisson should be saving that, shouldn't he? And I think Phillips should be doing better with the challenge, or being closer to who has got the goal, Vinicius.
Yeah, Vinicius.
So why has he got that much space deep into there in penalty area? Gundogan looked like he might just get a shot away outside the box, but great tackle from Hummels.
We did say this game would have goals.
Weirdly enough, which didn't seem in theme, but it has had goals.
I was just hoping they'd be for the team in red, not the team in white.
Foden has just done really well to get round Murray and get a cross in, but it goes to no one. This is a really great turn. Foden is a pleasure to watch. Real Madrid could have had a fourth there. Okay, now Dortmund look to be putting their foot on the gas and try and get up the pitch with a bit more urgency, which I think Liverpool should be the ones doing. Oh, the little turn, he just takes it in one touch and takes Murray out the picture and still has it on his left foot afterwards. It's delicious from Foden.
Porto, Chelsea, and Bayern, PSG tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll have our friend Jamie on doing those ones. With I don't know who's joining him for those ones.
I'm not sure. That's a good question, actually.
Well, just you know what time to look at it. You'll see on the stream. We'll make it a surprise. We know that Jamie will be on because Jamie can't go a day without doing one of these. And Bellingham, just before, brought the ball up the field and it is put out for a throw. And Bellingham's having a big role in this game's play, along with Dahoud. Dahoud and Bellingham really giving Man City something to think about. Whereas Chan is giving Man City something to exploit.
That's a ball.
Chan doesn't give it away, but it's because he gives it to Dahoud. Really poor pass to Dahoud, and Dahoud is the one who loses it. But it's come from a poor Chan pass. Seems like one of those things. If they lose 1-0 tonight, Dortmund, can they turn it over in the second leg? Yes, they can. Because it doesn't. I don't rate Chan anymore. I have been a defender of his because a lot of people over-criticise him, I think, but I'm starting to see it now. And he played it right back the other day against Frankfurt, and Kostic just ran him ragged. And there was a point where you thought to yourself, Turcic has to change something here and get Chan off. He didn't, and then 2 of the goals came from that left-hand side. Frankfurt's other big chance came from the left-hand side. And it's just Chan being unaware, and now he's playing in that number 6 role with Dahoud and Bellingham pushing on. So they're putting all their faith in Chan to protect that back line.
Scrap on. Look like there's going to be a scrap on then between Trent and Mendy. It's alright.
Has it been resolved?
Yeah.
Aww.
Not much into that, really.
Been resolved before I even got to the incident. Mustn't have been a big one.
It was Vinicius, sorry, and Trent shoving one another, and Klopp was in there straight away having a go at the.
Yeah, but Alexander
Trent.
Arnold goes in for him stupidly there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He kind of he provokes it a little bit.
Klopp had a go at him then.
There's no need for
Valverde, I
that.
forgot he was still at Madrid.
Oh yeah.
He's come on for Asensio.
They're just reinforcing that midfield. Oh, and Guerrero does well there. Oh no, it's Royce, sorry. Nice little take from Royce. Takes out one City player. On. Ball's turned over. And now City have a free kick. Conceded by Akanji. And Akanji's, I think, has been quite colossal in this game. And done well when on the ball. Jamie Davis, is Zidane underrated? I think he's rated, isn't he? But
yeah.
What kind of underrated are we talking about? Because there are questions tactically to what he does. I mean, they're not first in Spain, are they? Considering that the quality has been pretty below par this season. When he was at Madrid the first time round, he won the Liga once out of the 3 times, and it was probably way of him winning more than once. So, yes, he is probably underrated because he has won 3 Champions League, and who knows, he might win a 4th. But there are questions that can be raised of him.
You could say there could be questions asked about Simeone at Atletico because they had that far ahead at one point and now they're only a point ahead of Barcelona.
Exactly, yes.
A snuck up out of nowhere in La Liga.
You could say that, and considering that Simeone is the highest paid manager in the world, there's also that you've got to take into account. It looks like Dortmund are trying to throw any player up and struggling. And Akanji dispossesses De Bruyne again. I think Akanji's been really good tonight. And I questioned him. I said I preferred Zagadou in that position, but well, look who's wrong. Jamie, I don't think he gets enough praise. Comes back to the job and won the Liga last year and could get this team to a CL final. Yeah, actually, it's a fair point. Real fair point. If he wins the Champions League, then he's probably one of the greatest managers of all time, isn't he? With the most amount of Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
Especially the short space of time. You put him in that sort of ranking, even if people wouldn't consider him the best of all time. Just look at what he's won. If he does win another Champions League in such short space of time. Dominating European football, and especially with Militao and Nacho as a centre-back pairing in this match, for instance. If he does it without Ronaldo, I think he'll get a lot more praise.
I'm sure he's one of only 3 managers to have won the Champions League, / European Cup, whatever you want to call it, 3 times. You've got Bob Paisley did it at Liverpool.
And Ancelotti.
Ancelotti, yeah. I think they're the only other 2.
Simeone is hit and miss for me. He doesn't get the job done. But in all fairness, he's the one who created the force that is Atletico Madrid. At this, Foden's in on, doesn't get the crossing right, and Hummel's interceptor. Jesus can't get on the end of it. You can say that he doesn't get the job done, but this Atletico Madrid side should have never been competing for the title. They are currently first. They have won a title under Simeone. He's got them to a Champions League final. Let's not forget as well. He has done immense. I think he's got them to the final twice, hasn't he?
Yes.
And so let's not forget what he's done. He doesn't get the job done, but this Atletico Madrid side should have never got near getting the job done, if that sentence makes sense. So
they were literally 30 seconds away, weren't they? 30 seconds away from winning it in 2014.
Di Maria turned that round. But he has brought Atletico Madrid to a new level, so he has created his own expectation if he is not to meet these expectations that Jamie is saying he should have. I would like to see Zidane at Juve. We know that's the plan, Jamie. Zidane at Juve. His contract runs out in 2022, so does Pirlo's. They only gave Pirlo a 2-year contract. I'm certain the plan will be that he's supposed to be at Juventus one day.
What do you think about Eddie Howe and Celtic? I know it's a completely different league. And
I'd say why not? I like Eddie Howe. I know I like Eddie Howe for probably the wrong reasons, because he just seems like an approachable guy, and that's it. But he did wonders with Burnley. Gabriel Jesus has just thrown his gloves off the pitch. I'm not too sure why it looked like in frustration. Okay. I like it. I don't know if it's been confirmed. Has it been confirmed?
Not yet, but apparently it's very close.
Because I like the idea that he can rejuvenate his career there. Is he in a lose-lose situation? Because can this Celtic side realistically mount to the Rangers challenge? Or I'm guessing if he backs himself enough as a manager and the Celtic side can do something, then if he wins the title, then it's probably better than what Brendan Rodgers did there. Well, yeah. I'm exaggerating it, because Brendan Rodgers won so many titles there. But if he gets them winning one title after such a terrible season and trailing so much, then wins another, say hypothetically, then he does a better job than Brendan Rodgers. So if he does a better job than Brendan Rodgers, then he can only be in a winning situation. Jamie Davis, Atletico Madrid won the Europa League in 2010 before Simeone arrived. Simeone won a Europa League as well, but then that's all he's done in Europe, being runners-up and never remembered. Yeah, but he got them to an elite European level. It's like saying Porto, I think, got to...
He won the league as well.
Porto got them... Yeah, exactly. And Porto got to finals Europa Leagues, if I'm not wrong, before Jose Mourinho arrived, but then Jose Mourinho brought them to the next level, where they were supposed to be competing for those accolades. So... yeah, fine. He didn't. You can say he didn't do anything in Europe except for Europa League, but getting a team to a final is still good. Klopp only got Borussia Dortmund to a final of the Champions League and won a league with Borussia Dortmund. So, De Bruyne just has a shot that goes wide. He does well to keep off the Dortmund players who challenged him. Klopp was highly touted before going to Liverpool. He didn't win anything in Europe. Why can't we rate Simeone for that same level of success? De Bruyne's shot is just wide there. It's a really good one, but just a bit too wide. And it doesn't look like Dortmund are going to create themselves any clear-cut chances now. It's dying out a bit, and City are starting to put on the gas. Oh, and Foden has a shot and spills it. Really silly, if you ask me. Hitch should be doing better, and I think I say that way too often, don't I?
Yeah.
I can't believe that Berkey still isn't starting again. I don't rate Berkey either, but I think he's much better than Hitz.
Gone are the days of Roman Villa.
Oh my! Another Swiss goalkeeper. Oh wait, no, he's German. Sorry, he's German. Apologies. Foden's out wide on the edge of the box. Floating cross comes in. Mara's on the far post, but it's too far. He's still got the ball though. Can he get a cross in? Brings it back to Rodri. Rodri on the edge of the box. Can he get a cross in? He's got very little options. Mara's out wide again. The cross comes in. I think it's out for a goal kick. Mori protects the ball well enough. And Mara's had another cold night for his standards. Terzic doesn't look exactly pleased, and I understand why. He should have had a goal for his team. 77 minutes gone in this game, and 1-0 to Manchester City, and it's 3-1 to Real Madrid in the other game. When Bellingham's on the ball, gets to Royce. I would like Dortmund to get a goal just for the thrill of the tie. An away goal is always something quite... It makes the Champions League interesting, and plus Dortmund don't want to go back to their stadium and have the possibility of Man City scoring one away goal and them not having one. And De Bruyne looks like he's got space to run to. Gives it to Gabriel Jesus on the edge of the box, on the corner. Can he get into a good position? Dortmund get back. And Man City look like they want to break, but Dortmund are actually recovering very, very well in this game. And I think Dortmund have actually done well in this game. Just generally, I think they've played really well. They've showed that they could probably give Man City a decent game in the second leg if they play to this level.
Could really do with a Dortmund goal though.
Yes, and Chan does well to get the ball back from Gundogan. They look like they want to break. Oh, Chan gives it away though, so he does well to bring the ball back, but then a really sloppy pass gives it back to Mahrez. You see, that's the thing with Chan. There could be one step forward, but then it's 2 steps back. Okay, Jamie says Celtic could revive Eddie Howe's career. Okay, but Porto won both Europa League and Champions League with Jose. I think Simeone is okay, but I find his football rather dull. It's fair enough, but it's getting better. It is getting more interesting with the likes of Felix and Suarez. They can't afford to just stay deep anymore. It is a bit more exciting. Granted, there are still games that are very dull to watch. Theirs.
I can't remember who it was not that long ago, but there was a pundit who said that they would like to see Simeone at City, and I was thinking, ooh, I think that's a bit of a strange one because you're going from Pep's fast expansive football to a defensive style.
Imagine asking Cancelo just to stay out, just to stay as a right back. You're like, what happened? Foden looks in. Oh, the shot is really dragged wide. Wow, that is a really bad shot, especially for Foden's standards. Does well to build up with Mahrez then. Foden finds a little space, just drags the shot wide on his left foot. Does really well to get in a position, but the shot, I don't even know how he managed to shoot it so far wide.
He shot it and could back off. Firmino and Shaqiri on.
Now there's a substitute being made here, and it's Dahoud who's come off for Delaney, and I would have taken off Chan for Delaney. So that's a bit of a strange one to me. And Munier's come on for Murray, and another game where I don't understand why Munier's not started, but Terzic doesn't seem to really fancy him that much. Then.
Must be a change of system. They're taking Kabak off, who's one of the centre backs.
I'm putting on who?
Shaqiri.
Oh, wow. And Firmino. Kabak looks very displeased though. He doesn't look happy. I mean, I don't think you appreciate when you're a centre back and you come off 2 games in a row.
Well, he's gone for Fabinho at centre back actually. Okay.
Probably necessary. Oh, and Haaland looks like he might be in, but he just can't control the ball, and Ederson's come out to grab it. Haaland disappoints himself there. So this City side aren't looking as imperial as we'd have expected, but they're still looking like a good side. And Walker running down that flank. Chops it on the inside. Mara's out. Going to take a shot. Stutters. Plays to Jesus, but the ball is won back and it's Delaney.
It's too long. Oh, for God's sake.
Jesus gives it to Mahrez, and Mahrez is clearly offside there. I don't know why the referee hasn't flagged him up. But the play still goes on.
Stupid. Took too long to cross the ball and then goes and swings an arm into the Madrid player's face.
And I don't think Dortmund will get a goal, and I don't think City will get a second either.
It's not much in it actually between Trent and Vinicius then.
But there's a bit of hot blood there, isn't there?
Yeah, he got booked. He looked like he was shouting at the linesman, "Do your effing job." That's what it looked like. He shouted to the linesman. I'm not the best lip reader, but I think that's what he said.
He should do his job as well and not lose the ball so often.
That's a ball.
I think there is nothing in that foul. Yeah, I agree with you there. There's nothing in that. It's a bit of a cheap yellow card. And Dortmund seem to just be wanting to aim for City's left back position, trying to get long balls into that position. Oh, and Royce is in. Is he in? It's a goal. Brilliant. Loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Marco Reus.
And it's Haaland with the assist. Love it. That's brilliant. I'm chuffed to see that.
Royce.
But Haaland peels off his defender. So, as I just mentioned, that they were aiming for the left back position. Well, they try and go down Walker's right. So Bellingham does well to get the ball to Haaland, and Haaland just chips it over to his left on City's defence, where Walker was just ball watching, and Royce runs into that space and just lifts over Ederson. Nice finesse shot, brilliant. And Ederson does parry it, but he steers it into his own goal still. But brilliant from Dortmund. The pass from Haaland, the little lob pass into the space where Royce was running, and it started off with Bellingham putting it through to Haaland, and Haaland finding that space. Brilliant play from Dortmund, and Dortmund have deserved this. Dortmund have had some decent chances. They've slowed down a bit later on in this game, but they've deserved this, and especially given in the first half they should have had a goal. So can they cause Pep's City some problems? Maybe in the second leg, but away goal, and a very precious one at that. And the player that I was criticising because of his performance on Saturday, that was way below par, Royce is the one who's got the goal. Game on. And now I'm wondering, are City going to rely on the second leg to get that goal that they need to go through, or will they really go out now? And Cancelo's directly puts a ball in the box. Mahrez is running over at the far post, but Guerrero doesn't take any risks and puts it out for a corner. And Dortmund have defended resolutely in this match. City have had chances. They've got in the box a few times, mainly Foden. You know, Foden can get in around those spaces because he's just such an intricate and agile player. But Dortmund have had a plan, and they've respected that plan. Haaland clears it away just about, and it's Walker. And it's a foul going away by Guerrero. I'm not too sure that was a foul. Maybe on De Bruyne. And City can have a free kick in a decent position here. Oh yeah, it's a foul. It's a clear foul. I retract what I said.
Oh, for God's sake, Sadio.
And a friend again in that football group saying, Junior putting 2 goals in one match. Stop playing Liverpool if you're going to concede 2 goals to Vinicius Junior. And a free kick coming out wide, and this is prime De Bruyne position there. He could whip a ball in. Mahrez is standing over it as well. I'm guessing De Bruyne might be the one to float it just in front of the goalkeeper.
Just a white wall.
Oh, and it's gone over and out by it, and Hummels has got it away.
You wonder why I was moaning a minute ago about Mane. He had one opportunity where he was running forward, didn't pass the ball, and Madrid going back possession. And the other time he's just done it again, and he's just flopped as soon as the Madrid player came near him. And it would have been soft here to get the free kick there. The referee's never going to give it.
So I actually thought that Man City would win tonight. I thought that Liverpool would win tonight, and my predictions are both pretty wrong. I didn't actually share my predictions before the match, and I don't think you did either, but
yeah,
they would have been wrong at this point.
I was thinking 2-1 Liverpool and 2-0 City, but obviously...
to quote Joe Stanley at the beginning of the match, Madrid should be scared.
Yeah.
I'll bring up that recording then.
Use that in the future.
I mean, in all fairness,
video.
There were worse ones, like me predicting Barcelona to win the Champions League this season, and even at the time, there was no evidence to indicate that they might.
You can't laugh at your predictions. Then what can you do?
You just got to make wild ones. I'll still stand by the other week when I predicted Fulham would win 2-0 at Everton, and I got that perfectly right.
Still in with a chance with what I said on the final show the other week when we did those. Where I said that Fulham could survive.
I still think they will. They were unfortunate against Villa. They weren't unfortunate. They gave them 3 goals, but I still think Fulham will because Newcastle are that bad. And I said on our video way far back who would get relegated. I said West Brom, Sheffield, and Newcastle. So starting to look good for that. Even when Newcastle had a reasonable cushion, now they don't. And the last game of the season is it Fulham Newcastle?
I think it is, yeah. And it's at Fulham as well. Because I remember Newcastle were complaining because on the last weekend of the season they might be able to have 10,000 fans at each game. And Newcastle were complaining because they said it'd only be home fans, so Fulham would get an unfair advantage.
So, friends just saying, Real Madrid aren't winning because they aren't winning because they're better than Liverpool, and that's the only thing he said. So I'm assuming Liverpool have been quite bad and sloppy today.
All 3 goals that Madrid scored were poor defending, really, from our part.
And there's just a replay there from Alexander Arnold where he commits a foul again, and he doesn't really go in for the tackle properly. Oh, and Foden's just got a goal. I just missed that. Good God. Just missed the goal. And Foden's got a goal. I want to see this again. Zerchik doesn't look happy. Haaland doesn't. Royce looks infuriated. So, goes out wide. De Bruyne in that typical position. Gets the cross in. And they call for an offside, but that won't be given. Gundogan gets the ball. Back to Foden on the edge of the 6-yard box. And I was defending Meunier a lot, but he misjudges the header. It gives Gundogan the time to take down the ball, lay it back to Foden, and Foden is on the corner part of the 6-yard box and places it really well. So 2-1 to Manchester City. And unfortunate for Dortmund to concede that way, but City have grown gradually into this game, and that's what City can do. Dortmund go downfield. Haaland takes the ball down now. So 3 minutes of added time here. There's 4 in your game.
It's a pass. Go on. So the shot blocked.
Haaland gives it away there. And this is a shame. This is a real shame. Because, I'll say it again, Dortmund should have had a goal.
Should be 2-2, shouldn't it, in your game?
Oh, it should be. Bellingham's goal should have counted. But Foden has been electric tonight. He's got into all these sorts of positions. I think the two young English centre midfielders have painted themselves in a bright light. Bellingham has been really active as well. Not as much as Foden, but getting into those little pockets, finding a way to ask questions to the defenders, and Foden just a bit higher up the pitch than Bellingham. But two really good performances from the young Englishmen tonight. And it looks like it's going to be a goal kick with about 40 seconds remaining. Dortmund just keeping it inside their own box. Will they try getting that second away goal? They get a second away goal. My God, it'll be an interesting second leg. But then again, if they win the second leg 1-0, and they're going through. Can they boot upfield for one last chance? Haaland with the ball. And Haaland loses it. And Haaland's not had a good night. He really hasn't had a good night.
Awful. He's had an awful night, man, he has. Every time he's
full time here.
Every time he gets forward, he just loses the ball. Not happy at all.
Just seen Firmino give the ball away there.
He's hardly touched the ball since he's come on.
The way Alexander-Arnold throws himself into the tackles when he's on a yellow card. You can't be doing that when you can't be doing that at any level, even if you're young and inexperienced. But Modric does well though.
Okay, forward. Come on, Liverpool, do something. That's it. 3-1.
Full time.
Yeah, is it possible for us to turn it around the second half? Yes. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not. Not based on tonight's performance. If they play like tonight and stuff, especially with the way that Madrid are defensively, where they just sit the bank of 4 behind the ball. Yeah, all the white shirts behind the ball when we're in possession. Stuff's.
Yeah, so any other thoughts? So you don't think they'll turn it around?
If they perform like tonight, they won't. No. If they perform like they did the weekend against Arsenal, then they've got a good chance. But
is that because they're playing against a very weak Arsenal side, or were they playing against yeah,
that's the question.
These are the current Spanish champions, and they have won the Champions League recently as well. Last time in 2018, so not too long ago. A lot of those players on the pitch have won the Champions League with Real Madrid. I know talking about if they do that like they did against Arsenal, but this is Real Madrid. I think it is possible. I'm not sure. I didn't really pay too much attention to the game tonight, but they gifted the goals.
Yeah,
that's the big difference between these two teams at the moment. Real Madrid won't gift you goals. They won't give you those chances. Liverpool will. And they're not exactly both free-flowing football at the moment, the way that both teams are playing, but it's just that one makes less errors. And that's Real Madrid. So just go over the same stats at the end of the Liverpool Real Madrid game, and I'm hoping for Liverpool's sake that they did dominate something in the second half, except for possession. Oh wait, no, possession 55% for Liverpool, 45% for Real Madrid. Total shots 15 for Real Madrid, 7 for Liverpool. So Liverpool at least started getting some shots on target in the whole match. 7 for Real Madrid, 1 for Liverpool. 1 off target, 3 for Real Madrid, 3 for Liverpool. Block shots 5 for Real Madrid, 3 for Liverpool. So 1 shot on target in this whole game for Liverpool. Doesn't look great, does it? Considering he also had enough of the ball to make something happen. And fouls, 6 by Real Madrid and 11 by Liverpool. So big chances, 4 for Real Madrid, 1 for Liverpool. That must be in the chance they scored. So it looks like Real Madrid not exactly dominated the game, but they were probably the better team. Yeah. What would Liverpool need in the second game? Is there a particular player that they need back? who might be back next time they could have in that second leg, who would be essential?
I don't think there's any player that we could have back that, well, just the players that we need. They're not going to come back this season, so.
But is Henderson not coming back, or?
I don't think Henderson will be back in time for the second leg. He'll be a few weeks out yet, so that's a major problem.
So realistically, Klopp might be lining up the same team against Real Madrid next week, or next time out. Is it next week?
Yeah, next week. So I think it'll be the same sort of 11. Obviously, won't see Keita start, or see Thiago.
But Kabak and Phillips at the back.
Yeah. The silence should say it all, really.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not really too sure. It doesn't look good for Liverpool, but
I've seen people rating people like obviously on social media. I've seen people raving about Kabak, saying that they think he's a decent option. I'm not a fan. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I'm just not a fan.
Fair enough. He is still young though, so there is more to him than that. He's still in his 20s.
I suppose he's not bad as a fourth option, maybe, but I wouldn't have him as a starter for next season.
Oh, sorry, he's just turned 21, so that's me saying it wrong. But he's still young. He could become good. I've been impressed with him recently, but I haven't exactly watched intensely their games. But I thought he's looked good recently. Tonight, maybe when I looked over, he looked a bit shaky. There was that chance that he gave away. And none of those two centre-backs seem to command their line, do they, with Phillips or Kabak? And that's probably why I put Fabinho in there. At least he's some sort of leader, even if he is not an out-and-out centre-back. Yeah. So in the other game, it ended 2-1, the one I was watching, and to go over a few of the stats: possession 61% to Liverpool, 39% to Dortmund. 11 shots from City, 7 from Dortmund, 5 on target for City, 3 for Dortmund, and 4 off target for City, 1 for Dortmund, 2 blocked for City, 3 for Dortmund, etc., etc. City looked comfortable at some points, though. Dortmund did try and push for a few stages in the game. As mentioned, they were lucky that the penalty was overturned for Chan. It was never a penalty, but thankfully the referee went over to VAR to clarify it, and consequently decided not to give the penalty, but didn't give a free kick to Dortmund, and kept the yellow card on Emre Can, which I found very strange. So the 2 goals for City coming from De Bruyne and Foden, both in very similar positions on that 6-yard box line, and that's what City do well. They play it back, they get it round to the byline, then pull it back, and someone just tap it in, basically, and that's what both goals were tonight. Dortmund tried exploiting the left-back position of City with Cancelo, probably pushing up a bit too far sometimes, but then the goal came from Kyle Walker sleeping and just letting Royce run into that space and behind him, and I thought it was a positive night for English players, Foden and Bellingham in that sense. Dortmund can hope, if they can defend that well and not make those mistakes like they did tonight, then they've got a chance in the second leg. They win 1-0, then they go through. Thought Akanji was really good tonight, on the ball and also off the ball, making some really important tackles, as much as Hummels, but Akanji was just a bit superior. I thought it was a decent match. It was interesting. It did slow down quite often in the game, but I thought it was quite interesting. And I'm looking forward to a second leg that will probably promise goals, because it's City and Dortmund. They never finish goalless, their games. So yeah, that was our watch along for tonight, and thank you for joining us, everyone who got involved in the comments. Thank you, Joe, for joining me. And I hope you're not too. I hope you're not too sad, even though Liverpool lost.
It's football, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's football. That way they can concentrate on the league.
That we can't win. Since the weekend, we can't win it.
Mathematically impossible now. My thanks to Joe again, and thank you to everyone involved. Like, comment, subscribe as usual, and we'll see you, or join Jamie and the gang tomorrow for the Champions League matches that will be coming up tomorrow, which is a rematch of the final, Bayern Munich versus Paris, and then underdogs Porto and underdogs Chelsea. Well, I'm saying underdogs. I'm giving them that title. No one thinks the winner will come from that match, but who knows? Porto versus Chelsea, the Jose Mourinho derby. Join Jamie and the gang